Less than a week before the tragic terrorist attack in Brussels, a German politician who's very clear about the fact that he's against accepting Syrian refugees got into a serious car accident and was unconscious as a result of that. Well, after he was unconscious, he was saved by two individuals, and those two individuals were refugees. Now, the man is from Friedberg, Germany, and he is known as Stefan Jagsch. I'm hoping that's how you pronounce his name. Now, the refugees who came to his aid, who happened to be passing the scene of the accident in a bus after he hit the tree, were not identified, but reportedly pulled him out of the car, performed first aid, and waited with him until an ambulance arrived. They were gone by the time the police arrived. Now, I'm guessing they don't want to be identified by news organizations, but there's the scene of the accident. He crashed into a tree, and he's suffering from serious injuries right now. Now, he was asked what he thought about the fact that he was rescued by refugees, and here's what he had to say. "I cannot comment in this regard because I was not at the time of salvage conscious." This is the direct translation, so it sounds a little weird. "So I cannot confirm that it was a Syrian refugee who pulled me out of the vehicle, nor refute. For this reason, I give no opinion on the matter." Okay.
So, I mean, the problem is that it upturns his whole life philosophy, right? He's like, yeah, these people are very dangerous. And it turns out, no, you're the dangerous one who had the car accident, and they helped save your life. And I'm curious to see what happens with this guy going forward. Is he just going to do cognitive dissonance and just deny it and pretend they weren't Syrian refugees? By the way, witnesses say that when he was pulled out of the car, he was conscious. So, I mean, look, he was in an accident. I don't know to what degree he was conscious, etc. But you would think a little danke would be helpful. Like
it would be. It would be.
It'd be a nice thing to say thanks to the people who saved your life. Now, these guys have all these slogans about how it's a full boat. And
yeah, they talk about how it's a full boat. I mean, he tweeted a picture of protesters holding signs that said refugees not welcome. He's part of a very right-wing political group in Germany that actually there are questions about whether or not they should be banned. Even Angela Merkel has talked about that, and I don't know if it makes sense to ban political parties. But nonetheless, I mean, he's very, very openly against Muslim immigrants of any fashion. It doesn't matter if they're refugees. It doesn't matter if they're fleeing the same type of violence that we're all concerned about. He just thinks that they're all bad. And I think that this is a perfect example of how in every group of people, it doesn't matter if it's Muslims, Christians, Jewish people, there are gradations. There are people who interpret religion differently. I don't like any of that religion, okay? I don't like believing in it. I don't like living my life based on it. I don't like other people dictating my life based on their religion. But with that said, there are lots of wonderful Christians in this country, right? At the same time, there are a lot of terrible Christians in this country that want to do pretty terrible things when it comes to our laws, whether it's getting rid of reproductive rights. You know, in Uganda, we did stories about evangelicals wanting to execute gay people. There are terrible people in every religion, but then there are awesome people in every religion as well.
Okay, so I'm going to give credit to Germans here in a second. But first, the slogan they have, among many despicable slogans about how we should keep Europe more white and European, is "the boat is full." Look at the imagery of "the boat is full." Like you're picturing a boat with people trying to clamor to get on because they're about to die in the ocean, and you got people kicking them off the boat.
The boat is full.
They view that as like positive, like, hey, the boat is full, and I had to kick you out of the boat, and so you died, and I'm proud of that, right? Meanwhile, the guy gets pulled onto a boat when his life is in danger. But I don't want you to make the same mistake this guy is and blame German people for it, because actually the German people have been wonderful to refugees. They took in 1 million Syrian refugees just last year. So, I mean, they put America to shame on that. America's still debating with it whether we should take 10,000 refugees. We actually have the harshest system in the world in allowing refugees in. It takes about 18 months to process them. Now Republicans are saying, not good enough. We should take no refugees. We should take no Muslims, and we should make that process even more stringent, right? Meanwhile, the Germans took 1 million refugees. So God bless their heart for doing that. So let me do what I said this guy should have done. To all the good German people who acted out of kindness and generosity, danke.